Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today is the third week of Set Apart Summer. We're trying a recipe from Instagram, which I really hope this goes well because last time was a flop. It just did not taste good and I don't know why, but maybe it was just us and our taste buds.
It was the recipe because I think we made something with molasses.
Anyways, this one, in Jesus' name, guys, will be good. It's just like a single serve, so hopefully it will be okay. This is it. Usually when we make stuff with almond flour, it doesn't always work out, so I feel like it's iffy. Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, I feel like it depends on what you're baking because the texture of it.
The recipe looks good. You guys saw it.
So hopefully it'll
come out the same. Apart from that, we are also just going to be talking with you guys for this week about rest.
That'll be the challenge of the week. We really want to focus this week on resting, but not just resting in the Lord. We just want to share what that means to us and what the Lord has taught us about resting. We're excited to chat and bake with you guys, so let's get started.
We'll just tell you guys all the ingredients that we need. We have honey, organic cacao powder, almond flour, peanut butter. We don't usually use this brand, but we're almost out of our pure peanut butter. This one has bad ingredients in it. So.
Yeah, we don't recommend this one.
Don't follow our example in this. Get the one that's just made with peanuts, guys. Vanilla, baking soda, cacao powder. While we're doing this, we just want to share a little bit of what the Lord has taught us about resting. At least for me, I feel like Victoria, you're the same way, but I've always kind of had a mentality of feeling guilty for resting, and it's hard for me to actually rest because when I do, I'm constantly thinking about what I should be doing instead. It kind of puts me in a cycle of like not being able to rest, and then I like never get any rest. In different seasons of life, rest is going to look differently, and obviously depending on the person and your preferences, rest looks differently as well, because what might be restful for me might not be restful for you. Taking time to rest is really unique to you and to what you find restful and your relationship with the Lord as well, because resting in the Lord, I feel like, is something that we have grown a lot in the last few months, especially since being missionaries. We've really learned what that means, because when you're a missionary, you're there to serve, and so you don't necessarily feel like you want to rest because you want to serve. The whole time that we were serving as missionaries, I feel like we were learning how to rest, which was kind of counterintuitive because going in, we expected to constantly be serving and doing. We ended up really just pressing into resting. For me, at least, it shifted my perspective in what rest actually looks like, because I feel like I've always heard rest in the Lord, and I was like, yeah, but I just never truly understood what it means. I feel like rest in general is something that we both have struggled with, like physical rest and also spiritual rest, and knowing what that means. Because a lot of times when you think of rest, you think that you just have to be like laying down and not moving and just sitting there, but like Valerie was saying, it can look different for everybody, and also even for you, it will change in different seasons. Even every day it could look different. So yeah, I would definitely encourage you to just take some time today and just sit with the Lord and ask him how he wants you to rest with him today and how you can rest in him today, because you can still find rest even if you consider yourself to be super busy and like you don't have a lot of time.
Oh, she got too carried away. She just dropped the peanut butter on the counter.
Even if you feel like you're so busy, like your schedule is jam-packed from morning till night, you can still find rest in the Lord, and I feel like that is how you have peace, because you're going to peace himself. You're not trying to chase after all these different things to get it. I think we talked about it even in last week's vlog, like we were convicted, or at least I was convicted of feeling like when I need a break, what do I turn to first?
Yeah.
And if that's not the Lord, then it's not going to be something that's lasting. Everything is just going to be like, oh yeah, it fulfills me for a second, like scrolling on social media. It will make me feel better in the moment, but then afterwards you're just like, it didn't do anything, and it's not lasting. Only time with Jesus is what is going to give you true peace, because he's peace himself. Jesus says, come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. Come to me. And he also says, take my yoke upon you and you will have rest. And when you think about that, it's like, what does that mean? And I'm sure you guys know the yoke is a wooden beam that connects the two, like oxen or bull or whatever is pulling something heavy to each other. So when Jesus says, take my yoke upon you, he's basically saying, when me and you are connected, that's when you will find true rest. Literally, connection with Jesus is how we have rest and how we carry and walk in peace throughout our day, because it can get overwhelming to try and like find that amidst already crazy lives that we all live and all the busy schedules and just everything going on, having to worry about all that stuff and just trying to navigate how to have peace through that. Because if we don't, I feel like there's some breaking point where we're just like,
it's not
can't take it
sustainable.
anymore.
Yeah, that's what we've learned too, is like it's not sustainable to live from that place. Only when you live from the place of rest in the Lord is when you're able and empowered to do things. When you have the mentality of just do, go, strive, it's not sustainable. You'll be running to the ground, like Victoria was saying.
Yeah.
Even me, for the longest time, I had the mentality of I needed to strive to do things. I was very much workspace mindset, that in my own strength, I felt like I had to do things, but I feel like the Lord has just brought me to the revelation that I don't have to depend on myself. And I get to depend on him as I put my trust in him and as I lean on him. That comes with a daily trust. It's not just like one time. It's every single day. I need to depend on him.
Like you have to choose it.
Yeah.
Choose to walk in it.
And it's freeing because then you're not doing things for the Lord. You're doing things with him, in partnership with him. And he's just allowing you to be part of it. And it's so cool because we don't have to strive to do anything in our own strength. It's not by our might or by our power, but it's by his spirit.
Spirit of the living, spirit of the living.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just a really big thing that we've been learning as well, especially in this season right now, is that we don't have to make things happen on our own, in our own strength. We just get to witness the work that the Lord is already doing, and he makes things happen in perfect timing, in his timing. And sometimes we want to take control, take matters in our own hands because we don't understand or because we want things to happen
a lot of times
right away in our own timing. But it's like a daily surrender to his will and to his way. When you are reminded that his ways are so much better, then why would I not want to just let go and surrender to his will? Because his way is truly so much better.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not that we don't want to. It has to be like a constant reminder of telling ourselves to do that, because we get lost in feeling like we have to do it ourselves. But being reminded of Jesus and his goodness and his faithfulness is what keeps you in the trust stage of just knowing that he is taking care of everything. That is definitely a lot on the spiritual aspect of rest that we've learned. We also added chocolate chips. It says a handful, but we might put a little bit extra because we like more.
Measure with your heart.
But these are like oat milk chocolate chips. So we got our parchment paper here on the tray.
One big factor of starting this series was that we wanted to refocus and kind of get back into the routine, because our health has not been the best with all of our traveling and crazy schedules, and so we've just been wanting to refocus and get back to more consistency through this challenge.
Physical rest is something that I've struggled with in the past, and I still kind of do. You know that you need to rest, but you're just sitting there feeling guilty like Valerie was saying, or like just thinking about all the other things that you have to do. So it honestly is like, I feel like a discipline to learn with the Lord to allow yourself to feel like you can rest. It can be hard, especially when you are kind of a person that likes to like go, or you like to be active and exercise. And like we were saying earlier, it doesn't necessarily have to be complete like vegetable on the couch. But there are definitely times when you do need to rest, especially if you are not fully healthy and you're just trying to get rebalanced and everything back to normal, it's definitely good to learn how to be able to identify and just like, you know, your own body and what you feel like you need. And obviously in prayer, the Lord will guide you through that, and just knowing how to navigate everything. Physical rest is definitely necessary, something that we've been learning too. And so if you are also struggling with that, you're not alone, because we are right there along with you and navigating and learning that right now. If you guys are doing this challenge with us, let us know in the comments how it's going for you. Last week was actually a really good challenge because it just allowed us to decompress mentally, not be so distracted with the constant consumption of content. We were not created to consume so much at the level that we are today in society. It really does take discipline to make that happen, because it's so easy to run to distraction because there's so many distractions available for you to choose from. Taking the time to really process your thoughts, process your emotions, and allowing yourself to be in solitude and be still, just listen to the Lord, is really beneficial for your health as well, and for resting. I'm just now like getting back on social media. Taking the break was very helpful, and I know that it's something that I'm going to be doing consistently. Our job is on social media, like everything we do is surrounding social media. Even the times when I have to go on it, I'm still definitely going to continue to implement this challenge, I guess if you want to say, over and over again, because even if I just have to go on it to post and then exit out, I've done it multiple times before, and it's just like freed my mind of everything. It's something that everyone can definitely try and do, even just a week.
Just one day a week, I feel like would be beneficial.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
Even I want to start implementing that on
Usually like Sundays.
Yeah, and just do no phone.
Like I was saying, it's just freeing for your mind, and how Valerie was explaining, like you actually have the room and the capacity, I feel like, to process your own thoughts and your own emotions, rather than having so many new things at once every single day, because then you literally are going to have no time to process anything. And when you're consuming content all day long, kind of talked about this last week, but like even if you're just mindlessly listening to podcasts or sermons, it's all new information that's being inputted, and you have no time to process it afterwards. I feel like it just does so much, like even spiritually, without you even realizing it. Just doing that discipline alone, you're more present, you're living in the moment, you're able to hear the Lord's voice more.
Cookies going in.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we have our cookie. This is what it looks like. Tell us what you guys think. It doesn't look that bad, okay? You have to put it in the oven for 15 minutes, so that's what we're gonna do. While we're waiting for that, we can talk about some of the practical things. People could hear this and be like, okay, well, like us, because this was literally me, what do I have to do to rest? Like, what are the steps that I need to take to rest with God? What are some of the things that have helped you in learning how to rest?
Practically, it's hard, because like I said, it's unique to every individual. For example, it might be restful for me to go on a walk outside and just pray, just have time outside. That's what I like to do personally. I like spending time outdoors, going to the beach. The other day, we felt like we needed a day to like pray, and so we just went to the beach and we prayed, and I think I walked on the beach for like an hour or more. No distractions. You're just like eliminating all the outside factors from being able to affect you, I guess, internally. Putting yourself in an environment that allows you to rest is probably the first practical thing you can do. So like, if you feel like you can rest well outside, then go spend time outside. But if you're someone who wants to sit in the room and that's what makes you feel rest, then you can go in your room and close the door, create an atmosphere that is restful for you. Then do something that you find restful, whether it's just sitting or maybe it's walking. Talking to a friend could be restful for somebody. Prayer is very restful. Journaling, yeah, we love to journal. You can do small daily things that allow you to live from that place of rest. Especially if you're doing those things in the beginning of the day, then you can really like realign and set your focus on the Lord, so that the whole rest of your day is set up to live from that place.
Something that I have really been noticing, for me at least, is just the importance of consistency and finding that rhythm, because you really have to be consistent in order to actually feel the rest that you're trying to find. I've been seeing how much of an impact consistency has on everything. It's really important to find that rhythm of being consistent, because that's when you're going to see the fruit. When you are consistently spending time with the Lord, being with Him, I feel like that is when you are truly going to see the rest and find the rest, because you are literally with Him. For me personally, I feel like if it's kind of off and on, then I'm kind of also like struggling to find my own footing almost, because I need the consistency of that foundation that I've already built with Him. It doesn't have to look one way every day, but what I'm saying is prioritizing time with Him every day. You're not spending time with Him, then how are you going to look like Him? And how are you going to walk the way that He walks, and everything? Just everything that goes into walking with Jesus.
Allowing yourself to be aware instead of being distracted. I feel like the biggest thing today that the enemy loves to use is distraction, and it deceives everybody into thinking they're
busyness.
Okay. Even worship for me is restful, because the amount of times that I've gone into worship and then come out of it feeling so much better, which is like the point is not to feel better. The effects of worship and gratitude alone are like so,
because you're just looking at God.
Yeah, because you're fixing your eyes on the Lord and not on yourself or on your circumstances or the world around you. I think it really starts with setting your gaze on the Lord and looking to Him, because when you do that first, you can go throughout your whole day and not have like your set time with the Lord. You can do your job with the Lord, and you can pray, you can talk to Him, and you can worship throughout your day, and you can drive to work, you know, with the Lord. But it's like a matter of, am I setting my gaze on the Lord, or am I focused on myself?
And not waver, because I feel like when we kind of lose sight of Jesus, then that's what happens, is we're kind of wavering because we get too fixated on our feelings or our circumstance, and we're forgetting all the promises that Jesus gave us and what He's already done, that we can stand on that truth and not allow anything to make us waver or falter or distract, like Valerie's saying, us from what we're supposed to be doing, and stand strong and firmly. Like when we put on our armor every day, that's why it's so important, because it's like you really have to do that to be able to stand firm. And I'm not saying this from a place of like, I do this every day. It really does make a big difference for your every single day. Even when you think about Jesus, it says in the Bible that He often withdrew. He often withdrew from His circumstances to go and be with the Lord. And if Jesus did that, then how much more do we have to do that?
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
He intentionally took the time, because how many of us say, I don't have time for that? I don't have time today. It's so easy to believe that lie, right? Like, oh, I don't have time, I'm too busy today. But that's also busyness and distraction that the enemy is trying to use against you to cut you off from spending that time with the Lord. And that's why I said consistency, because once you start building that habit of like doing it every day, then I feel like that's really when it'll just become like second nature to you. Like you don't even have to question like getting up and feeling like, oh, I don't really feel like it today. Which, not to say, like some days you might feel like that, but
the need supersedes the not being motivated to do it.
And our faithfulness of showing up will take over what we feel inside and what we want, because our flesh might try and take over sometimes, but that's us also denying ourselves and saying, no, not today, Satan. Not any day, because we're not letting you take away from us spending time with the Lord. So probably the biggest factor that has shifted my mindset in what rest in the Lord really means, which I've learned in this past season, is just remembrance. When we remember what the Lord has already done, remember that we don't have to do, because it's by His power, like I was saying. Remembrance is one of the biggest factors for me that defines rest in the Lord. When I fix my mind on Him and on what He's already done for me, it reminds me that I don't have to do, because the work is already finished. The trust is no longer in myself, it's in Him. My faith is in what He has already done for me. You don't have to carry the weight, because He's already carried it.
He took on all the weight of the world so that we could be set free. That is so freeing, because There's nothing that I can do in my own strength without him. The fact that he took it all, not like half of it or most of it, but he took all of it so that I don't have to carry any of it, is the best news ever, because it's literally the gospel. Just allow your mind to be renewed by the gospel every day. Allow yourself to remember, because when we bring ourselves back to remembrance and when we ask the Lord to bring us back to remembrance, then we can live from a place of rest in the Lord every single day.
That was our TED Talk. Let's check on the cookie. The cookie is done now, so we're gonna check on it.
That was kind of fast.
15 minutes. That is humongous. We're gonna do a taste test of our creation right now. Give it a rating for you guys so we can tell you if you need to try this recipe or not. First try. Cheers. The look.
Good, right? If you like peanut butter and chocolate, you'll like this recipe. It literally tastes like a Reese's.
Would you make again? Yeah, I think so. It does. It tastes like a Reese's kind of. Would you make it again?
I would say because it has clean ingredients, it's really easy to make. It tastes good. An 8.
I was gonna say 7.
I would try it again. I mean, we keep eating it, so.
But I feel like if you also like making healthier recipes, you eat these kinds of things and it tastes similar. So like you can probably make this recipe into no bake brownie bites or like whatever. There's a lot of different options that you can make and it kind of tastes similar because the biggest flavor of it is peanut butter and then the chocolate chips, which is good. We like it because we eat like pretty clean. So literally like our sweet treat is fruit.
Yeah.
Definitely try this out, guys. We hope you enjoyed our little video of baking and this week's challenge of rest. Let us know in the comments how you like to rest and any updates on the Set Apart Summer Challenge. Thanks for watching.